Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Zanny Cakes, and in this video we're going to go over the Path of Diablo economy. Yesterday we talked about the trade site and how to use it. Today we'll talk about how to figure out what value your items have. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And with that, let's get into how the economy works. So, Path of Diablo has its own private little community and its own private little economy to go with it. The economy has a market, which is the trade site. It has its own currency, which is usually runes, orbs of corruption, or perfect skulls. And people buy and sell things within this economy. That being said, even though it's very small, it does actually work on the same principles as a real live economy, like the US stock market. Values fluctuate, items become worth more or less as seasons progress, and overall it's very dynamic and can be quite a lot to actually really understand how the economy works. So, a high rune in the literal sense is a rune with a high rarity. There's a lot of different iterations on which rune is the first high rune. I personally consider anything to be a high rune that is Vex or higher. That's just because I feel like Vex is rare enough to where it's not very common, and then it's also used in some of the end game rune words that are, actually have value to them. So that's why I consider Vex or higher to be a high rune. Numerically speaking, there's 33 runes, so up to an rune would be a low rune, up to rune would be mid rune, and then Mal or higher would be considered a high rune. But then looking at it from a economy standpoint, the runes themselves have different values based on supply and demand. So try to think about it this way. Think of it as runes are like your money. And when you see somebody post something for 1 HR, think of it as being like $1. So we have the Sir rune, which is consistently our one high rune basis. So think of that as your dollar bill, whereas a bear rune would be worth 2 high runes, and that would be like a $2 bill. You can go the other way where Vex would be like a 50-cent piece, even down to orbs of corruption or like nickels, and perfect skulls would be like pennies. And do remember, guys, Zods are money too. So for all you people that don't take Zods on the trade site, I get it, but they're money too, guys. So there's several ways that you can find out what the value is of any rune at any given time. One of the easiest ways is to just ask. You will probably find some sarcastic people that will tell you something just way off the wall, but you'll usually get honest responses as well. You can find a spreadsheet in the Discord for the high rune prices. However, that's been out of date for about a month and a half now. And this one is my personal chart of what I feel are the current market values or fair market values for different things. There will be a link in the description below. Again, these are just values based on my own personal opinion. Ultimately, the value of an item is determined by the buyer and seller of each individual trade. It's whatever one person is willing to give at the time in exchange for something else. So on here, I do have what I consider to be fair market values for all of the high runes, going down to anything really under a pool rune is not, I mean, they're pretty much all worth 1 orb of corruption at that point. You've got how many perfect skulls for an Orb of Corruption, how many perfect skulls for a high rune, and then you have the values over here as well. So again, there will be a link in the description below to this. If you want to use it, I encourage you to do so. I hope it's helpful to at least a few of you guys out there. So with that, we'll bring this video to a close. I hope it gives you a better understanding of how the economy works in Path of Diablo, and will help you ultimately understand the value of what's on your account much better. So as always, good luck, have fun, and I hope to see you out there.